I'm Jacob Cooney, the director of Alpha House, and we're here with Sean Evans from Back to the Movies.
We are standing on the edge tonight. Make the week so we can fly. Standing over the edge, falling over the edge. Yeah, yeah. We are hanging on the edge tonight. Need 1,000 weeks to fly. Standing over the edge.
Jacob Cooney, director of Alpha House, joins us on Back to the Movies. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right. Just getting things together over here, kind of just waking up. So I'm happy to be doing this interview, and I thank you for allowing me to do this.
No problem. It's definitely a pleasure having you on the show. So, Alpha House. Okay, it's a teen frat comedy that looks like a whole heap of fun. What gave you the idea to make such a party-themed movie?
Well, it's always been something that I've wanted to make, especially being a filmmaker and coming right out of college. I think everybody wants to make a college film at some point. I graduated college like a little over 10 years ago, and I always joke around, especially with my co-writer Brendan Trends, that if we were to have written this 8 years ago, it would have been fantastic, because we would have been basically living what we were writing. But now 10 years later, we were kind of pulling it back from our experiences, which was also fun to kind of relive all the things that we did. But the process of this was we got involved with the Asylum. They wanted to do a college comedy, and they had this little nugget of an idea. It was basically kind of just the title. And we started pitching it, putting our ideas down on paper, and they ended up biting on it. It was kind of a long process to get the film greenlit. It was about a year and a half of pitching and going back and reworking and doing gag lists and trying to get all that stuff together. But as soon as everybody was happy with it, the movie really went really fast. We got the green light, fast track, had to write the script in a couple weeks. The day that we finished the script, they called, asked me to direct, and then the next week I was in LA prepping the movie.
Fantastic. Wow, it seems like such a quick progression from like this idea straight to actually filming the thing. I mean, did it take you by surprise how quickly everything kind of went? I bet it was quite a blur actually, because you told me not long ago it took 11 days to shoot.
It was a blur.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was a big blur. I actually was just talking about it the other day, where it's like I was trying to remember all the moments that happened in the last couple months, and I specifics I can't really remember. Generalizations I definitely have. There's a few moments in there, but I can't believe that we wrote the movie, shot the movie, edited the movie in a matter of 5 months. I think that might even be a little bit of a generous time frame.
Yeah, it does sound crazy. Now, I mean, I've personally worked with the guys behind American Pie, including like cast members and crew as well, and they've all said they made the script to relive a childhood, to recreate a film they enjoy, and to just have fun with it along the way. Was that along the same sort of lines as why you made Alpha House as well?
Yeah, well, we both Brandon and I are huge fans of obviously the Animal House, the kind of the seminal college comedy that everybody kind of goes back to, and that's kind of where we wanted to kind of have our starting point. And then obviously, when I was in high school, the American Pie movies were coming out, and those were huge. And then obviously all the sequels, kind of. The idea there, they were in high school in the first one. I was in high school when it came out. Second one was kind of, an older fare. They were in college kind of situation. And that's kind of the same situation that I was in. And then just kind of following it. So we kind of, took those kind of base ideas of an Animal House, of an American Pie, also with a little bit of a Porky's vibe. I don't know if you've seen the Porky's films from the 80s.
I actually no. A lot of people go on about them though, so it's something I need to check out, obviously.
Yeah, I highly recommend them. So we took kind of little pieces and our like for those types of movies and placed them into Alpha House.
Okay, now I mean, what have you included in And I was going to say Animal House. Then you're making me think about Animal House. There. I mean, what have you included in Alpha House that makes you stand out from the crowd?
I haven't seen a crazy naked sushi dinner really in a film the way that it goes off in Alpha House. So there's there's definitely some moments that stick out within the film, and I would have to say the sushi dinner specifically is kind of a new one for me. It was an interesting thing to shoot, and we the whole process of making the film was very fast. So we got as much as we could, as fast as we could, and as well as we could. And I think that moment in particular kind of sticks out in my mind.
Yeah, the sushi scene is very interesting because I mean, there's a very brief scene in Sex and the City. Don't ask me why I've seen that movie. I just have.
Right.
That's kind of what I got to do here. And you basically did that scene and took it like 3 steps further, and it just completely blew everything out of the water that I've ever seen. So yeah, definitely that scene is one to stand out. I mean, the film in general has the most topless nudity I've ever seen in one film. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. How could you guys even concentrate on making a movie when there was so much talent walking around the place?
It was a little rough, but I like to think of ourselves as professionals. All the ladies were definitely professionals, and we came in to have fun, make this film, make it as good as we could, and that's kind of the mentality we took with it. I'm gonna keep going back to the schedule. With how fast we had to do the movie. There really wasn't really any time to kind of sit back and gawk. So we just got it done, made it happen, and had a lot of fun doing it.
Fantastic. I mean, with such craziness going on actually on the screen, I mean, is there any behind the scenes stories or comedy events you can tell us about in particular?
Uh, there are some that I can't really talk about.
Yeah, for lawyers and all that kind of purposes. Okay, no problem.
Yes, exactly. I would just say that I do believe that all the young actors in the film had a very good time on and off the screen. I myself, I'm getting married next month, so I was a good boy, and as I should be. And I heard through the grapevine that there was some antics going on
Fantastic.
during the movie.
I think you should fly me out for
Yeah.
the next one, Jacob. It sounds like a lot of fun, buddy. Definitely.
I will, especially if the producers want to make a sequel. Brandon and I are there, and we'll definitely try to get you involved.
Nice, appreciate it. Now, I mean, the film stars the lovely Mindy Robinson, who we've interviewed not long ago. We've worked with her on loads of films that she's been in as well. So how did you guys meet, and what made you instantly want to cast her in the movie?
Well, I would say, the casting department brought her in. I saw her tape, and I thought that she was hilarious. She's not only a beautiful woman, but she has some really great comedy chops, and that came across instantly in her audition. So it was an easy choice to bring her on.
For an independent movie, I was saying the film has a very professional looking feel. It looks very Hollywood. It looks very well shot. And when you told me that you shot in 11 days, it completely blew my mind because of how professional it looks. I mean, can you tell us about some of the guys that you had on board with you behind the scenes actually shooting this thing?
The director of photography, Laura Beth Love, is phenomenal, and she definitely knows what she's doing. She also operates the camera herself. So between herself and her team, who were completely behind the movie and working their asses off, they made it look the way that it needed to look. We wanted that glossy feel. We wanted to have some fun with the lighting, especially with the differentiation between the girls' side of the house, the guys' side of the house, and then also the guys' kind of layer down in the basement. So we were able to have some fun with the style that we wanted to go with, and Laura Beth Love and the entire team that we had just rocked it out. From day one, they were there and ready to go every day.
Wow, it definitely sounds like everyone's dedicated. It always seems to be the same sort of answers that come out of independent film. Everyone seems to be like a family working together. It always seems to be like a really nice kind of setting to make a movie.
Yeah, it most definitely was. Everybody, they knew what we were going for, and they were all completely behind it. Like I said, and they came in every day. They were there at 6 a.m. every day, ready to go, with no questions. So they, I attest the quality of the movie to the crew that we had and everybody involved.
Fantastic. I mean, the film seems open to be turned into some sort of franchise of sorts. I mean, with you saying there's a plan for a sequel, is that kind of what you're aiming for there? Maybe a new franchise of teen
Well,
comedies?
if it goes in that direction, we would totally be there for it. We just kind of started pitching the idea of a sequel to the production company and the producers, and we're still awaiting their official thoughts on the entire thing, if they're even thinking about it. But we would like to. I think it's a fun world, the fun characters to kind of get into, and especially. Dean Marshall, played by DC Douglas.
Yeah.
That whole world and that character, I feel like, can be expanded and continued on, most definitely.
Yeah, definitely, and I definitely will not be looking at a squirrel the same way ever again. So for people watching this movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see that. It's a crazy sequence. It had me in absolute tears. Right, that pretty much just wraps it up for me there, Jacob. I mean, I wish you all the
Okay.
success for the DVD release of Alpha House, and then I just want to thank you for having Back to the Movies, having the world exclusive review, which really meant a lot to us, and thanks for the world exclusive interview as well. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having us, and we appreciate you taking the time and watching the movie, and especially really enjoying the watch. That was good to hear. We're excited to get it out to everybody and kind of get the feedback and see what's going on. But we had a lot of fun making the movie, and we think that it comes across on the screen as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us, Jacob.
Thank you.